Assalamualaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A very good day and warm welcome to our panelists, the advisors, and all our attendees. Welcome to Youth Financial Literacy webinar. I am your Imran Haris and I will be the MC throughout the whole event. We would appreciate it if you could scan the QR code on the screen and follow Inventrix UTP Instagram account for more updates. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Muhammad Amshah for the Dua recitation.
Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajmain. Ya Allah ya Rahman ya Rahim, hanya padamu sahaja kami panjangkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkah-Mu. Bersempena dengan majlis pada hari ini, kami memohon inayah dan taufik-Mu. Kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan kepada kami. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada kami, supaya kami dapat mengisi ilmu dan pengetahuan yang berguna untuk agama, bangsa dan negara. Kami memohon kepadamu agar engkau berkatilah majlis ini dengan limpahan rahmat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjayakan majlis ini mendapat keredaan dan hidayah-Mu. Sesungguhnya pada hari ini kami berkumpul kerana-Mu, Ya Allah. Kami berkumpul untuk menimba ilmu, bertukar pendapat, menyumbangkan buah fikiran, menghubungkan silaturahim dan memberi sokongan ke arah meningkatkan lagi prestasi kami. Kami memohon kekuatan dari hadrat-Mu, Ya Allah, supaya kami hadir pada hari ini agar kami dapat melaksanakan segala kebajikan, dan kami mohon perlindungan dengan Engkau daripada melakukan keburukan. Ya Allah, kurniakanlah kepada kami kekayaan ilmu pengetahuan dan hiasilah diri kami dengan sifat lemah lembut, serta muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan dan indahkanlah diri kami dengan kesihatan. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa barik wa sallim. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Thank you, Amshah. Now, I would like to invite Sir Emil, Supervisor of Youth Financial Literacy webinar, to give a welcoming speech and initiate the event. Sir?
Okay, thank you, Mio. First of all, I would like to welcome our panelists for today's webinar. Mr. Fairuz Izwan Basri, we have Ms. Nazreen Ismail, Mr. Abdul and Mr. Faris Hanafi. And participants from our local universities and college, we have from Intech Education College, University Teknologi Mara, International Islamic University of Malaysia, College Matrikulasi Pulau Pinang, and others which I didn't mention. And I was informed that today we have international participants from Pakistan, Nigeria, Australia, and a large group from Universitas Telkom Indonesia. And last but not least, the organizing committee Inventrix team. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. I would like to thank to all our panelists and all participants that attended this webinar today. I know that it is Saturday on weekend with a good weather this morning. We are most likely to be on bed. Instead, you choose to be here today to obtain knowledge and to be financially literate, especially in getting a financially stable in the future. These days, everything related to money. But how far are you financially literate? Therefore, when Inventrix team proposed for this topic, the advisors are fully support on this idea. Actually, this is the best platform to educate the youth about the core competencies of financial literacy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, a step that you take today will absolutely create a big difference in your future. I encourage participants to actively participate, ask questions during the session, and may the objective of this webinar can be achieved. Once again, I would like to thank all the panelists for their commitment and support for this webinar. They are the experts in this field. With their tremendous experience, I am sure they will have many information and stories to be shared with us today. With this, the Youth Financial Literacy webinar officially starts. Wishing all speakers and participants a happy webinar. Thank you and back to Mio. Silakan Mio.
Thank you, Sir Emil.
Welcome.
Before we begin, allow me to introduce our panel of speakers for today's event. For the first forum session, we have speaker number 1, Mr. Fairuz Izwan Basri, a financial influencer on TikTok. He is in his career journey. He's achieved many awards, such as Leadership Awards with Ishad HR Consultants Berhad, a team champion of Axiata Young CEO Development Program Digital Project, and team champion of Maybank Go Ahead Challenge. Joining with us is speaker number 2, Ms. Nazreen Ismail, a financial life coach. She worked in various financial institutes before, such as Maybank, Citibank, RHB, and Credit Guarantee Corporation, CGC Malaysia Berhad. She is an expert in financial related field. She is currently the owner of her own company, Woman Money Story. As for our second forum session, we have Mr. Abdul Qy'yum as our first speaker. He is a co-founder of Syarikat Gaya Plus Berhad, who manufacture plastic and polymer products. His hard work and courage lead him to achieve many awards such as SME 1 Asia Awards 2013, SME 100 Awards 2018, SME Bank 2015, Industry Leadership Awards Manufacturing 2019, Asian Business Award 2018, and SME 50 Enterprise 2019. Joining with us is Mr. Faris Hanafi. He is an experienced consultant with a history of working in business and financial industry, such as a unit trust consultant with RHB Asset Management and Takaful consultant with Hong Leong and SIG Takaful. Since we have everyone here, we will first proceed with a photo session. Kindly turn on your webcam for a group photo.
To count. Is it done? Yeah. Would you like to count?
Oh, wait for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Still any room for others to join? Come on, guys. So this group photo, you may showcase the group photo on LinkedIn or any other social media platform as a proof that you joined our event, and also don't forget to tag us after this. So I think our media department have pre-prepared. So come on, guys, we still have maybe a minute.
Just give me a minute.
Okay, all right. So media department, are you ready? I will make the countdown.
Yeah, can, sure.
Yes.
Okay. So have a smile, everyone. So 1, 2, 3, smile. You got it, media team? Okay, we may have another snap photo. So get ready, everyone. Freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I believe media team have captured both photos. So thank you everyone for joining us in this photo session. So let's start our first forum session for today. I'm going to pass the floor to our moderator, Mr. Arman, to continue with the session. Mr. Arman, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mio. Hi, good morning, Mr. Fairuz, Ms. Nazreen. My name is Arman. I'm a second-year business management student from UTP, and I'm very fortunate to be appointed as a moderator for this session. How are you feeling today, Ms. Nazreen? You're muted. You're muted. Ms. Nazreen?
Okay, audio checking. Right. Alhamdulillah, doing fine, thank you.
What about you, Mr. Faris? Are you here? Mr. Faris? I'm calling for Mr. Faris. Are you on the line? Okay, well, maybe while we wait for Mr. Fairuz, Ms. Nazreen, would you like to say anything to the audience? Maybe something about yourself? How are you feeling today? A good morning wish or something?
Yeah, Bismillah. In the first place, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor to be with you guys, from the esteemed university, UTP. Alhamdulillah, as you have done a brief introduction about myself just now. I've been in the banking industry for the past 25 years, and that's a long time, 25 years. I just left the banking industry and now I run my own coaching business. What I do is I give one-to-one coaching sessions. I also do team coaching, and I also provide professional learning facilitation. And my forte will be anything about money, anything under the moon and the stars or the sun about money. So that's a little bit about myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nazreen. Can we check again in Mr. Fairuz? I think he may have some internet connection problems. Sorry to keep you waiting, by the way, Ms. Nazreen.
No worries, no worries. So I heard there's international participants here. Alhamdulillah, pretty exciting.
A few from Kamawishini. Good job. Okay, maybe we shall start first.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
Okay, all right. All right, we will now proceed with our first financial planning forum session entitled Now for the Future, as it says on the slide. This session aims to emphasize the meaning of financial planning and also its importance. Hence the reason why we are all here today, joined by our two panelists, Mr. Faris Izwan, who is yet to be here yet. Maybe he will join in a minute, and also Ms. Nazreen Ismail. Okay, let's get started with the first question. This first question is actually for both of the panelists. A very simple one. What is financial planning? Ms. Nazreen, would you like to start first?
Wow. Financial planning. If you were to open up the Google, or any dictionary, it will give you a very standard answer. But let me just explain financial planning in simple layman terms. Just break that two words, financial and planning. So financial is anything and everything about money. Okay, money. And when we talk about planning, it's basically laying it in very proper steps for you to achieve your goals. your plans, your ideas, your whatever vision, you carefully lay it down in step 1, step 2, step 3, so that you reach to your goal. And when you combine this both, it actually means for you to carefully lay down all those steps to achieve your monetary goals. So financial is everything about money, and it's how you get to what you want and what you aim for. So in simple terms, that is financial planning to me. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Nazreen. Since Mr. Faris is not here yet, he cannot answer the first question together with you. Is it fine for you to answer the next question?
Which is?
So I'll move on to the second question for you then. Okay, all right. So the next question is Ms. Nazreen. With the current economic condition, is savings a choice or an obligation? Do you think so?
Whether it is a choice or an obligation, I must say that first instinct, most of you will answer as an obligation, because it's what has been fed to our minds. You know, you must save, you must save, you must keep your money, you have your piggy bank. Even when you open your account in any banking institution, they will give you a small piggy bank for you to save your money, save your cash. But then if you were to look into the obligation word itself, it gives that feel of, you know, you are bound to do it. It is because someone tells you to do it. It is like an instruction, you know. I don't sit well with this obligation. I would prefer choice. But then if you want to make it as a choice, it has to be a purposeful choice, because you choose to save, you want to save, and you tie that with a meaning. Why do you want to save? When do you want to save an amount, whatever your desired amount? So I would put it as a choice because it is something that you willingly want to do and it sits well with you. So to me, it is a choice, but it has to be a meaningful choice, a purposeful choice. Yes.
Maybe a priority choice, meaning it's a choice, but it's also a very prioritized one.
Yeah, you define whether it is a luxury choice, a priority choice, whatever, but it is you yourself wanting to do it.
Right, that is very insightful. Thank you for that. Moving on, how does the act of financial planning impact one's lifestyle?
Impact one's lifestyle. Interesting enough, lifestyle financial planning is a discipline by itself. You know, you have a financial planning for just lifestyle. And when you use the word lifestyle, it is something that makes you happy. You know, when you say lifestyle, happiness, you know, it gives you comfort, it gives you peace. So if you were to have financial planning properly done, executed, monitored towards your goal, it will lead to a happy outcome. It would lead to a peaceful mind. You know, you would feel happy. You would not go through anxiety, sleepless nights with lots of debts to clear, unexpected bills to pay, emergency situation that calls for funds here and there, right? So if you do a proper financial planning, it will affect your lifestyle in a very positive manner. Inshallah, it will.
If I may add, I'm sorry if this is a bit personal, but how financial planning has impacted your lifestyle, Ms. Nazreen?
Financial planning has impacted my lifestyle. I'm here. Am I not? I left my banking industry.
That makes sense. You made yourself
Yeah, I
there.
left the banking industry, and you know there were people out there saying, you know, why did you leave your 9 to 5 job, you know, with a stable pay, with a pleasant position, I must say, and I still decide to leave. So it has got all to do with financial planning. You know, to know more about it, we really need to deep dive as to what financial planning is all about. The literacy part, yes.
I want to say hi to Mr. Fairuz.
Hi. Sorry, I was a bit late. I got like issue with my with my team, so it doesn't allow me to enter just now.
Oh, you're okay. It's all right. It's all right. We've started a few questions with Mr. Nazreen. Maybe
Right.
we'd like to catch up with you. Are you okay?
Yep, can.
Are you okay? How are you feeling this morning?
I'm good. I got my coffee here, so everything is okay.
Okay. Ms. Nazreen has answered this question before, just now. But to you, Mr. Fairuz, what is financial planning?
Right. So for me, financial planning is a plan that you have to devise as your own personal plan for you to achieve your long-term goals. Right. Basically, your it's not just your long-term goals, it's your short-term goals, long-term goals, whatever goal that you may have in life. So, for example, like in my case, I separate when I got married with my wife. So I got my own personal goals. So when I got married with her, so my own financial planning, it evolved from my own financial planning, it became our own financial planning. So I had that with my wife. So what happened was that I had to sit down with her, and then I talked to her. You know what do we wanted to achieve in life? For me, like two of my long-term goals is number one is that I wanted to have a retirement funds worth of certain amount of money lah. I can't tell you how much. And then secondly is that I wanted to travel to all Disneylands in the world, like all 7. I wanted to go. I wanted to become like a Prince Charming. I don't know why. It's just my very long childhood dreams. And then I had that session with my wife. So we had to devise a plan. How do we wanted to afford it? When do we want to go for it? We come up with all sorts of measurements, all sorts of planning, investment planning, savings planning in order to afford that kind of lifestyle, that kind of goal. So for me, financial planning is having a plan, your own personal plan, or you and your wife plans, or you with your husband's plan to achieve that personal ambition or your couple's ambitions.
Have you ticked any of the Disneylands on your list?
Yeah, I did. But fortunately, it was something unaccounted for because my company sent me to UK. It was 2 years back. So I did not expect my company to send me to UK. So when they did send me, I told my company they sent me for work. So, but then I told them, you know what? Instead of sending me for work here, can I take some time off? I wanted to go to Paris. So I took like 2 days off. I went to Paris just to have fun at Disneyland Paris. So I took one. Supposedly during the pandemic, before the pandemic, I wanted to go to Hong Kong to take another one, but because of pandemic, I couldn't settle that one.
So you went to the first Disneyland without your wife?
Yeah. I'm sorry to her, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fairuz. Next question for you. I would like to ask you, do you think youth nowadays are capable of having savings?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Youth nowadays are capable of having savings, right? I can give my own personal opinion on this. So, number one, for my case, right, the definition of youth, you have to understand the definition of youth as well. For example, by Malaysian standard, they consider youth is 40 and below. But I'm not sure whether that's being implemented already because it was the past government. But from my point of view, representing, because I work in one of the big bank in Malaysia, and from that big bank's point of view, youth is 30 and below. So if I were to consider 30 and below, from my case, whether youth is capable of saving, from my point of view and from my personal own experience, I did not start saving when I was until 26 years old. And I'm not going to lie, because before I was 26 years old, I was a student. And before that, I don't have any sort of substantial income at that point of time. And only after I received my own salary, my first income, I did start my savings. But that is my own personal experience. However, what I've realized from having a lot of session with the students nowadays, from working in one of the big banks in Malaysia, I realized from the data that we've seen, the youth are actually saving quite a bunch. Okay, but there's a but there. From the data we saw, although they save a lot, the duration of that saving is extremely short. it's from 1 month, and then it goes up until 3 months, and then the money is down again. But then they start building up 1 month, 3 months, and then it's down again. So that's the trend that we've seen, working in my current portfolio. But if you would ask me, like I was saying personally, for me, for my case, I believe that if you have the right mindset, if you have the right, I would say your parents give you the right mindset, your parents educate you well, then you would have that capability to save. But whether or not would you spend, that's a different question. For me, saving is one other habit, but spending is another different habit. You could save a lot, but you could have that habit to wanted to spend as well. So for example, I give the case of my wife. She save a lot, but she spends a lot. So how does it make sense? Well, people like that exist as well. You save for the sake of spending in that short term, but it really depends on your own personal behavior, your own attitude, your own how are you being brought up in this world? How does your parent perceive money as well? Because most people understand money, develop their money habits from their parents, right? So that's something unique that I think we need further research and study in Malaysia to understand that particular demographics of how does savings among youth actually work.
Right. Yeah. I think the most important part is the mindset. Like, if there's a will, there's a way.
Correct.
Ms. Nazreen, would you like to add anything from the question?
Oh, it's pretty interesting, Fairuz, the way you have explained it. I must say that the graph, which goes volatile from the day that your pay comes in and the cycle while you're waiting for the next pay to come in, it's pretty much defined as living paycheck to paycheck. All right.
Right.
It has got a lot to do with what you do with the money that you earn. All right. So when you have the right mindset, of course, it's from your upbringing, the environment around you, as how Fairuz has mentioned. It also boils down to your future vision, your future goal. Are you putting it aside for a permanent purpose? All right. If you have a permanent purpose, there kept aside an amount kept aside, the remaining you are free to spend because you want to live a happy lifestyle. And that gives you that feeling of, I worked hard for the money and I want to enjoy a little. And of course, when you enjoy a little, it has also to be a very meaningful purpose, because we should not, go and have a lot of waste. It's prohibited in our religions, whoever's religions, right? We have to be very careful with that and not to continue having that cycle living paycheck to paycheck. You have to have a savings kept aside for a very purposeful future vision. It can be anything, up to you. You can define it in whatever manner that you want to, so long as it's meaningful to you yourself, not to anyone else, but to you yourself.
Yeah. But that's quite an interesting conversation, right, Ms. Nazreen? Because when we talk about meaningful or purposeful life, right? For example, like I just got married, right, last year. So I realized there's a big mindset difference between myself and my wife. That's the point I realized. So, then I started to try to build my wife's financial habits, because what I saw was that, for example, like my wife's case, she did save, but just like you mentioned, it's for very short term spending. For example, one of the things that I realized is that she likes to follow what the peers is doing. For example, like, oh, I saw my friend actually stayed in this hotel. Let's go. I was like, huh? So that kind of pressure it does exist out there, right? The peer pressure is there, and it's not just that. The living cost is getting higher and higher. And what's funny is that the options that's available out there is getting, more and more. For example, like exists this boba tea, that boba has specialty, this boba has specialty. So sometimes you wanted to save, but monthly that savings become lesser and lesser because you keep wanting to try new things. So yeah, but you're right, mindset is very important. That's when since I've gotten married, I have to block in a nice way for her. Can we not try this month? Maybe next month we can try that new boba.
I hope she's not here in the webinar.
She's besides me. She's besides me.
Someone in the chat did say all the TikTok trends are very tempting. So that is where our savings is. Yeah.
Yeah. And while we are on this topic as well, right, I wanted to mention as well, there's something very interesting I found on TikTok, Miss Nazreen and Arman as well. For example, one of the things that I've learned on TikTok is that there exists out there in the current retail market exists a pink tax. Pink tax is something, is basically a retail item, but specifically designed for the ladies. When I say design, the way it goes to market is specifically designed for the ladies. For example, we take a case of razor blade, right? If you buy a razor blade for guys, the price is cheaper than the ladies one, but the number of blade is the same. But why does the ladies one cost higher? It's just because of the design. It's not really because of the number of blade. The number of blade is the same. The blade is the same, but the design is different. So that's something that I learned from TikTok. So when I was telling my wife that I think you should not buy the ladies razor anymore. I think you should buy just the men's one. It's cheaper. And it's the same number of blade.
Fairuz, can I just add on that? When you mentioned about TikTok and all those, right? Social media comes into my mind, right? Social media. Nowadays, the advertisement in the social media, it's designed in a way to lure you to spend.
Right.
You get controlled by that money. Not you controlling the money, but the money is controlling you. Because you tend to get sucked into that desire, wanting to have this and wanting to have that. So it has, again, got everything to do with your mindset. How you stick to your plans, your medium-term goal or long-term goal with whatever that you have available and monitor and follow by it. Right, that's very important, and it's something that we need to do and train our mindset. See, our mind and the heart is actually together. You cannot separate that two. So you need to find a way and get this two going together, right? Like your husband and wife, so it has to flow together.
Correct. I agree.
I guess it's good that we're here today to counter a bit of the temptation from the social media and, give us some awareness to ourselves. All right, thank you so much for that. We'll move on to the next question. It's for the both of you. Okay, why do you think financial planning is a taboo topic among youth? Would you like to go first, Ms. Nazreen?
Taboo among youth. I think we have sort of elaborated a bit about this. Basically, what I can say is from a recent, I think, survey done by BNM, our central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, most of our people are actually living in this current spending situation. The vision to look far ahead and save or to have a financial goal is not really there. It's everything living for now. All right, it is a fact. It is something done by our central bank. When we look at that statistics, it shows that, again, how you let money control you with that spending, over social media's advertisement, peer pressure. One person has a brand new car to go to work. I also must have a brand new car. Why can't I just, why can't you or that somebody go with a second-hand car, for example, or take the public transport, for example? It's basically simply taking you from point A to point B. What has that feel of brand and has got to do with you controlling your money, right? So most of us are giving in to that rather than we controlling our mind and our thoughts on it, we give in to that, simply because it's a short-term happiness. Your car will still break down. You still have to go through maintenance and all those, right? Fairuz, would you care to add on a little?
Right. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with your answer, because like for my case, right, I give an example. For my case, I got promoted rather early in my career. So because of that, and working as a bank officer, my parents would tell me, you are a bank officer. Why are you not buying a car yet? And then, I told them that, I wanted to use public transport. I wanted to, save money so that I could, get my first house, maybe, simpan duit for kahwin, right? And then when it comes to a decision whereby I wanted to buy a car, right? I wanted to buy a car right before I got married, so that it doesn't make sense for me to drive in a motorcycle with my wife. Oh my God, it just doesn't look good, right? So I pity her because it's not comfortable, right? So I bought a car right before I got married, and then when I bought the car, my parents again asked me, "Why do you buy a Myvi? Your salary could easily buy a Honda Civic." I was like, no. No way I'm going to buy a Honda Civic. It's expensive. And just like you say, the maintenance kicks in, the petrol, the parking fee, it doesn't make sense. I do not want, more than 40% of my salary just used for a car. I don't live inside the car. I have goals, I have ambitions, I have, other things I wanted to make use of my money. But then my parents did not understand me. My parents was like, bank officer should not look like this. Your title is big. You should, use this car. I was like, no way, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to use Myvi forever. But it doesn't sound, although I had to like debate with my parents a bit, argue with them a bit, but, they understand, because I had to like list down all my expenses. I really had to list down. I had to take a paper. I had to show my salary. And then I had to like list down to them, this is the amount of money that I'm using, this is the amount of money that I'm saving, this is the amount of investment, and this is the amount that I need to start my business, this is the amount of money I need to start my wedding funds. So they were like, okay, now I understand your position. But it comes down to the point whereby I have to show them every single thing that happened within a monthly expenses of mine, to show them that I have other things that I need to make use of the money. So that's the second point I wanted to add on to our conversation here. The reason why it's a taboo is because, number one, for me, what I believe in is that there's a gap between a financial understanding between one generation to the other. The common concept is there, but the understanding slightly differs. For example, in my parents' case, the way they understand money is a bit different. They're like, in their mindset is that buying is better than renting. Right, but in nowadays situation, if you can see in the market, renting is a lot better than buying. Well, for the short term, right? Renting is okay for you to start with. It doesn't hurt. And even we talk about car, probably in their times, the car is something that's affordable. Well, based on my parents' salary at that point of time, but based on our current salary and the living cost, it doesn't make sense. So there are a lot of financial gaps. That's the reason why, like, for my case, I always had an argument with my parents about my money. It's not even their money, it's my money. But they have a lot of debate with me about my money and how I spend it. So I think because of this sensitive issue that were not tackled during the younger years, maybe the mindset that was not instilled in me, I had that debate session with my parents. So for me, from my point of view, I think it's a taboo because of, number one, there's a gap between knowledge between the parents and the kids. And once the parents already have a substantial income, once they like my parents' case, they're about to retire, they already got the EPF money, their mindset is totally different. Because you already got your EPF money, your mindset is totally different. You get to spend. But in my point of view, I don't have the luxury to do that. So there's the big difference in terms of situation as well. And then when we talk about money as well, just like Ms. Nazreen mentioned, there's a peer pressure that's available out there. Your friends are buying this, your friends is buying that. So once you graduated, or once you see your friends having that, you have this ego inside you saying that I need to have whatever that person is doing, because of I can't be left behind. You only live once. Let's swipe that credit card. So that's another behavior that exists. That's the reason, because because of that peer pressure, you always wanted to spend. You tend to hide the bad things, right? You tend to hide the fact that you don't have money for you to follow what your friends is currently doing, right? So that's the problem. That's why it becomes sensitive. That's why it became taboo. Like, for my example, like, I take again my wife's case. I don't know why she's kept being an example of mine. So my wife, before we got married, she got a lot of credit card debt. And I actually told her, before we get married, you need to settle your credit card debt, or we will not get married. We will postpone the date until you settle your credit card debt. It was so serious, and she was like, oh my God, are you serious right now? Does our love mean nothing? Because our love means everything. I need you to settle the debt. So that's my point of view. But her point of view is that love triumphs money. But for me, money is an understanding that you need to have before you get married. So, and then I realized, what makes you racks up that big amount of debt? And then I realized she likes to follow her friends. Like, her friends are living off quite well. They are working in a very great job. Their salary is bigger than hers. That's why they are. I don't know. This is just an assumption. I don't know whether their friends have debt. Probably because of the attitude of her friends always invited her. Hey, let's go for travel. Let's go to travel here. Let's go. She went to places I've never heard in my life, like Komodo Island. I don't know where she been. So she racks up credit card debt just from paying, the airline fees, makan minum, and it adds up just from following her friends. Since she gotten married with me, she did not get to travel anywhere because I kept blocking. But but that's what happened. So you're right. Peer pressure is something that you cannot easily, you need to understand that you need to delay. It's a concept of delayed gratification. Delay it, find your long-term purpose, chase that purpose. It's better than whatever short-term purpose that you are having.
Interesting. I would want to add just a simple fact of our current youth mindset, right? It's very easy to take a loan. No offense, Fairuz. I know you're still working in a bank. No offense. It's easy to take a loan. All right. Car loan and housing loan. All right. We have this saying in our bahasa. If someone may want to translate in the chat for our foreign speakers, ukur baju di badan sendiri. All right. It means if you have the means to spend, then you spend. Don't live on debts, because you don't know when you're going to leave this world. I have to be very realistic here, right? With the current pandemic situation, nobody knows, not just the pandemic situation, nobody knows when I'm going to leave this world. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be any time, right? And when you are having debts, you can't bring that debts along to wherever you are going after this life.
Right.
So long as your debts, for example, housing loan, you take, that mortgage lifetime assurance to cover for those remaining amount which is actually not served yet to pay off, then you're quite covered. What about the other part, the other loan debts that has got no insurance, like your credit cards? I mean, those are debts. Are you going to leave that burden to your next of kin, right? So the way you focus your financial planning has to be in such a way that if you want to take debt, make sure it is a good debt and you know what you're doing. All right. Don't just go into the debt scenario simply because you can afford it. My salary can afford it. No, that's not a good advice. That's not a right way moving forward. So I feel it is very important that I share this thing out, because that's the current trend that I see. Even my son, who is about to graduate, inshallah, already asking for a car. I say, you want a car, you save your money first. You save. If you can get a second-hand car, go ahead. You will learn even when you are fixing the engine yourself, right? So it's again your mindset. How you tune your mindset. I'm okay. Who cares how people look at you, so long as it can carry you from point A to point B safely, inshallah.
Right.
Okay.
I think you're right, Ms. Nazreen, because of a lot of the youth, once they graduated, terus they straight up buy their first car, straight up buy their first home without realizing the huge responsibility that they actually about to get a hold of. Like for my case, my first car, like I mentioned before I got married, I actually put a down payment of 30%. Why do I put a down payment of 30%? It's because I wanted to reduce the amount of debt that I'm about to have. And it's the same thing with my house. It's 30% as well. That's why it took such a long time for me to buy. Because I wanted to reduce the amount of debt that I'm having. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, because just like you mentioned, rightly mentioned, it's easy to get a loan. 100% loan this, 100% loan that. So it's something that not just the banks, the financial institution really have to be aware of. I think this is just, I don't know, if Bank Negaras are listening into this, probably there's a way for us to, revise back the way the banks, the financial institution go to market. I mean, some banks are doing fine in terms of the way we go to market, but some are predatory. Like I think I saw like Aeon posting, get your personal loan and fund your marriage. I was like, what?
Everything is so readily available, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's a sensitive topic. That's why it's a taboo as well in Malaysia. But surprisingly so, right, Ms. Nazreen, there's a study done between financial understanding in Malaysia and the US. So in the US, people don't trust the banks or the financial planners because they're out to get your money. But in Malaysia, they trust the banks and they trust the financial planners because it's still quite controlled, right, compared to the one in US, because the interest rate is really, really high. But if we keep, if we keep being and how we spend, how we consume right now, it's not going to be long until we become like the Western market.
True, very true.
Yes, and also I just would like to add, have Ms. Nazreen and Mr. Fairuz, I feel like for me, I see a lot of advertisement that advertises buy now and pay later.
Right. There's a new one.
That's pretty much living on credit in disguise.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as taking a loan.
Yeah, and the thing is, buy now, pay later, for me personally, is even worse than credit card. It's even worse than credit card. It doesn't build your credit score. It doesn't give you cash back. It doesn't give you any sort of benefit. It's just giving you free money for the sake of 15% installment. Do you realize there's 15% installment for one of the e-commerce in Malaysia? They just launched their buy now, pay later. It's 15%. Oh my God, it's as high as a credit card without the benefits. I was like, that's really making money.
That's mean.
That's really mean, right?
Personally.
Yeah, buy now, pay later is worse than credit card, honestly.
Okay, yeah. Since we're on the topic of credit score, I would like to ask, what is credit score actually for the audience to know, and how is it used? Ms. Nazreen, would you like to go first?
Credit score, okay. Being in the bank for the past 25 years, right, I deal with a lot of credit risk applications, and one of the key things is we need to look at credit score. It's basically a score that populates the consumer's monetary behavior. Behavior in a sense, whether you are paying on time or not on time, how much, it's like when we are giving a loan to someone. Let's say you are giving your salary money to a friend, you're going to lend the whole chunk of your salary money to a friend. You evaluate your friend whether they can pay you back, whether they have any past habits that they don't pay back to other people, whether they have an steady income to pay you back so that they can earn something on a steady basis and pay you back, because you have given your money out to that person and you want it back. So in a nutshell, credit score is something that will populate that kind of behavior. It has certain parameters. It will tell you something about that person. So if you are going to a financial institution with an intention to go into taking a loan, a good loan, for example, for a good reason, for example, all right? And first thing they will do is to check your behavior in that manner. So in a simple layman term, that's credit score, yeah.
Yeah.
Fairuz, do you want to add? I think you would be in a better position to elaborate on this.
I think my experience is a bit lesser than yours because you have huge banking experience. So yeah, so I wish to add on upon that, right? Credit score is rightly, as you say, is basically your financial report card lah. It's as easy as that is the easiest analogy for you to understand. Like you don't get to see your, if you're still a student, maybe your financial report card is either very clean or usually it's very clean. Once you graduated, then it's either very clean or very bad. Depends on whether or not you pay your education loan. If the education loan that exists in Malaysia is PTPTN. Once you graduated, you pay off your education loan monthly, then your report card is superb. It's going to be A plus. But then if it's really bad, then if it's really bad, they will show that everything is bad. Then you can't get a housing loan, you can't get any car loans or whatsoever if you wish to apply so in the future. Saying that, it's a very interesting approach in credit score in Malaysia. This financial report card, just like Ms. Nazreen mentioned, it determines whether or not you are a good paymaster, whether or not you can pay back the money you're about to give to bank. The analogy is very simple. For example, like if I were to ask from Ms. Nazreen, can I borrow 10,000 ringgit? And Ms. Nazreen doesn't know me. Of course, she wouldn't want to give me 10,000 ringgit for me to borrow, right? But for example, if Ms. Nazreen know me and then she knows that although I borrow her 10,000 ringgit, but then I kept she understands, she trusts me that I can pay back. Then it's different, and it's the same thing with your financial report card. The bank or financial institution need to trust you. That's why they refer to this credit report card so that they know whether or not they should give you the money. They should trust you, right? And for the youth out there, this is very important. If you have a very good credit score, then your interest, possibly you can get a lower interest as well. Possibly you can get, it's easier for you to apply any loans as well. But you have to understand that you have to build it once you graduated. Now you can't do anything because you probably don't have any income yet. Once you receive an income, and if you have education loan, for example, at PTPTN, go out to PTPTN branch and restructure your loan first. So that's the first tips, right? Because I can understand it's hard to get a job. Probably 1 year you don't get a job, and then you can't pay PTPTN. It's going to be really, really bad on your credit score. So what you need to do first thing is go and restructure your PTPTN first. Once you restructure, you pay off monthly, your credit score is going to fix itself, right? So it's quite simple to build it. As long as you pay well, whatever amount of debt that you have, if you have a credit card, you pay on time, you should have a very good, financial report card lah. It's as simple as that.
But there's a word of caution here when it comes to credit score. You see, credit score is comes in handy to gauge a person's behavior, monetary behavior, what we can see, right? But we do not want to get into that trap of taking this loan, that loan, that loan, so that it shows in my credit score that I can pay. No, that should not be the mindset, right? We should be ideally saving enough so that you don't get into a loan by right, okay? And also doesn't mean that when your credit score is clean that you don't have any facility, the banks do not want to give you loan. No. So long as we know you, you have got savings, you're a premier banking customer or whatever, you don't have any litigation elsewhere, for example, right? So credit score, taking a loan is not the only thing that qualifies you whether you can take a good loan or not. So there are other things. Try and avoid getting into so much debt because it's going to kill you later on. You're going to have sleepless nights, you're going to have anxiety, it'll be cold sweat, and you'll be waking up one morning, what am I going to do with all my debts, with all my loans? You will be working for money rather than the money working for you. So think about it. We want to be in that position where the money is working for you, not you working for the money. Right? So that's something that we really, really need to think about carefully.
Right, I agree.
Thank you, Mr. Faris and Ms. Nazreen. I feel like that was a very interesting perspective to see credit score. It's not just about the loan. All right. unfortunately, due to time constraint, we're moving to the last question for our forum session before we head for Q&A from the audience. So the last question is for the both of you. What suggestions would you give to youth who are just about to embark in financial planning? Mr. Faris, would you like to go first?
What suggestion is a very interesting topic. So usually, when usually last time, I think a couple of events back, we developed this module called financial adulting. So in this module that I developed with my team, in this module, we actually listed 8 steps for you to follow for you to become a financially responsible adult. So it includes, for example, your first milestone that you have to hit. For example, you have to hit your first 1,000 ringgit savings, and then it covers insurance, it covers your first investment, it covers your first, life decision when it comes to your car, when it comes to your mortgage, when it comes to your marriage, right? Personally, for me, the first thing you need to do in order to start your financial planning is setting up your goals. It's as simple as setting up your goals. You don't need to start saving. You don't need to do anything yet. Just list down your goals first. Because if you start saving, but then you don't have a purpose, you don't have a direction where to go, it's pointless. You don't have the motivation. You don't have the direction to follow through. So list down your goals. That's very simple. List down your short-term goals, your medium-term goals, your long-term goals. The goals could be, for example, you wanted to go to Haji, go Umrah, or go to Disneyland like me, whatever it is, right? List down and try to create. From there on, after you start listing down, from there on, you can start create your plans, right? How much is the money that you want to use in order to afford your long-term goals, and how much is the salary monthly that you have to deduct in order for you to afford that life goal, right? So from there on, you can actually have a purpose of your savings and your investments. So after you start setting up your goals, and then you can start bringing in the big guns, the financial tools, I would say. You can bring in budgeting, expense tracking, then investment can come in, you want to grow your wealth in order to afford that life goals. So these are a very simple solution, but honestly speaking, not everyone have their own life goals. Like I could bet you right now, if we are in this audience right now, if I were to ask any of you, you would stutter, like you would pause a bit, like, what is my life goal? Honestly speaking, a lot of us are having that issue because we are living life automatically. And the same thing, for example, like my wife. So when I had that financial talk with her, she paused because she doesn't know what she wanted in life. She doesn't have a purpose. All she knows, she wanted to travel, but she doesn't list down where does she want to travel, how much is the cost of the travel, and it's just traveling is just the whole purpose. Then she started saying, oh, actually I nak pergi umrah juga. I wanted to go for pilgrimage. And then, she did not have a proper train of thoughts about her goals. Because she doesn't list down her goals, she doesn't write down her goals, she doesn't have a plan. Okay, it's simple. What you need to do, list down and start putting out your plan. Like for me, I did not just list down. Honestly speaking, I put it in Excel, I print it out, I put it to my face every morning, I would look at it. Where am I at right now? So it's as simple as that. Once you know your goals, and then you can start building your financial plan. From there on, you can start asking for, bringing the financial tools. You can start asking for advice. How do I want to reach this? You can ask a financial planner to help you. If some financial planner actually, charge you quite a huge amount, then probably you could just, just Google up a bit, research a bit on how do you want it to afford your goals as well. So that could happen as well, right?
Yeah. You have said it, in detail about the goals. You must know your goals, where you are right now and where you want to be, Fairuz, right? I mean, that's a key thing altogether. But let me just bring in another element, which is very important. You're disciplined to monitor and you're taking activities. If you have it on paper, on Excel, but you don't stick to it, you don't monitor, when you are a little bit out of track and you don't get back on track, then it doesn't make any sense. You will just wander back to square one. So discipline and your mindset and to stick to your goal, it's very important. So question yourself, ask yourself, what kind of commitment level that you are putting in to get this thing through, to make this a success, inshallah. So again, it's all about the mindset and your heart. It has to sync. Only then all those in your paper, your Excel, it will jive and reach you to where you want to be, inshallah.
Inshallah, definitely. All right, I guess that is it. Thank you so much for all the amazing answers. I really hope whatever we have discussed and whatever was said today would be super beneficial to those out there trying to understand the topic of financial planning and to the audience as well. Let's move on to the Q&A session now. We open the floor for a Q&A session. If the participants have any questions, please do not hesitate to type them in the chat box. Or if you wish to voice out as well, you could just click the raise up hand button. I'm going to go through the chat box for a bit because I saw a few questions that was being asked by the audience. All right. Yes, says, for laymen who wants a comprehensive life financial plan, should they learn and become expert of financial planning, i.e. CFP/IFP, and apply the knowledge to their own family, or just simply use the service of professional certified financial planner? Which is more practical and value for money? What is your advice?
Right. I think I'll let me take this first because I'm taking IFP right now. I'm taking Islamic Financial Planner.
Yeah.
If you ask me which is the value for money, if you don't have the desire to become a financial planner, don't take the license because the license costs you 10,000 ringgit. So why are you taking the license just for the sake of understanding financial planning? So it doesn't make any sense. It's cheaper if you just ask for a professional. Just pay them off. It's a lot cheaper that way. They could give you the knowledge. They could help you plan out your plans. Even there's a difference, right? CFP and IFP. So CFP is the certified financial planner. Is for the conventional financial planning. IFP is Islamic financial planner. So it covers both conventional and the Islamic point of view. IFP is a lot harder, if I may share. It's a lot harder. There's a lot of surah, hadith. When I was going through, I was like, oh my God. So it's a lot harder. And again, the price is 10K. Either CFP or IFP, the price is 10,000 ringgit. So if you are you just wanted to have a financial planning, it doesn't make sense for you to take up the certificate or the license. Just go for their service. So it's a lot cheaper that way. Some of them cost $600, some of them cost $1,000. So it really depends. It depends on the service as well. Because
Sorry, Fairuz. Let me just add on. For a normal layman person, right? Ask yourself, you want this knowledge for what? If you want this knowledge for you to build your own financial structure so that you reach to your goal, it is for yourself and for you to guide your internal family members, I would say the basic cash flow, what is asset, what is liability is good enough. The most important thing is for you to know what you want with your money. The ins and the outs, the assets, I would term it as assets feed you, bagi you makan, feeds you. Liability is like that, it hurts you. So that simple analogy, you can actually list down and start planning for future. And if you are really looking for ways to be financial literate for your own internal use, you can always reach out to me. I'll be happy to assist on a layman basis, knowledge, understanding. No issue, no problem. But if you want to do it for others, for out there, then as what Fairuz suggests, you can explore if you have that commitment, right? There's nothing is stopping you. It depends on what you want actually. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm taking my IFP certificate and license right now. Besides the costing that I've mentioned just now, it will take you roughly up to 6 months for you to learn or become a certified financial planner. and there's exam. Like there's 4 modules, and each module have their exams that you have to go through. I just finished my first module. I swear to God, it's so difficult. Going on my second one. It's been a while since I studied, so that's why.
You'll be fine, inshallah, Fairuz. You'll be fine, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you. I guess we should move on to the next question. It's from Muhammad Shukran. I think he wants to start investment. He's asked, how much percentage of your income do you use for investment?
Interesting. You would want to okay. First thing, do you understand what investment is all about? Right? Whether that investment, the criteria, whether it guarantees your capital or not. Are you okay if that capital suddenly goes kaboosh before you can go into how much percentage you want to save for investment? All right. If you have an amount that you are willing to risk for, you define that percentage. You set your own percentage. How much? But remember, you must understand first what investment is all about, the pros and the cons. Only then you can make a good investment decision. Don't follow others. Don't have a peer pressure. Oh, that person invests, I must invest too. No, you must know. Knowledge, understanding. Anything that you do, knowledge and understanding is important. So you can go to Fairuz, you can come to me because I'm an investor. I still am. I was a unit trust consultant before. I left because it was conflict of my banking career in the past. So if anyone wants a little understanding on a very neutral ground, yes, I will be able to give, inshallah.
Correct. I think I wish to add in as well. So when we talk about investment, just like Ms. Nazreen mentioned, don't just simply follow your friends or whatever social media tells you. Like I can see right now on TikTok, there's a boom on 2 things on TikTok when it comes to investment. I think a lot of us have TikTok accounts here. Number one is a boom on cryptocurrency, like whatever they promoted on TikTok about cryptocurrency, and a lot of the youth are following whatever people tell them on social media. Again, cryptocurrency is very, very volatile. It's very highly risk. It's even higher risk than the stocks market. For example, 2 days ago, Bitcoin crashed 20%. 20%. Oh my God! Within one night. It's a crazy jump. So that's the reason why you don't simply take any advice from social media. Right? Those are again people's opinion. Right, their own opinion, their own analysis. It doesn't mean that they're good. It doesn't mean that they are bad either. It's just their own personal opinion. Like if you simply take whatever advice that they gave, whatever signal they gave out, and you simply invest, they might have the capability to take out their money, and they might have the capacity to invest as well. If you imagine if they invest 100,000 ringgit and they are accustomed to it, and then they take out their money fast, they probably have untung a bit. For example, the money if the trending was going down, and then you put in the same amount of money, for example, you put in 1,000 ringgit and the money goes down. You don't have the ability like them probably. So
I think when they talk about it in the social media, I guess whatever amount that they're talking is just peanuts to them, right? And for us, it's our lifetime saving.
So just be careful. Again, then the other trend on TikTok is Forex. Like these Forex gurus on TikTok, right? They promoted Forex probably because they wanted that new entry commission. Like if they bring in new customer, they got that commission, which is fine. But the problem is they gave out they invited people to join in their channel so that they could give out signal. So that's a problem. That my one issue with this Forex guru is the signal. So again, signal is their own analysis, their own opinion. They might have the same capacity, but if you don't have the same capacity, you follow their signal. Because I have a lot of my friends that actually, I follow this Forex guru, and then suddenly I did not make any money there. In fact, I lost money there. So again, you don't just follow whatever signal is out there. Run your own research. Investment is personal. Investment is just not just following blindly whatever other people say, right? So just don't go through it. Whatever you see on social media, again, take it with a grain of salt. Don't just simply follow, right?
I think the best guidance is also going back to your source of beliefs, your religion. Go back to that. What does, the religion says, when it comes to all this crypto and forex and whatever. That's
Right.
also your pillar guidance, right? For
Correct.
everyone.
Correct.
In respect of your own religion.
I think there's a comment as well. Forex is non-Sharia. If Forex is not Sharia compliant, I do agree. And certain cryptocurrency is not Sharia compliant. In Malaysia, there's only there's only 6 coins that's already certified by the Sharia Council of Security Commissions. Is it? The Sharia Council of Security Commission. So Security Commission Sharia Board actually already certified this 6 coin only. Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, altcoin, Ripple. What's the other one? I'm missing the other one. Litecoin, sorry. There's 6 coin, Litecoin. So there's only 6 are in compliance or is already deemed permissible as a digital asset. For example, those meme coin, Dogecoin lah, Shiba Inu, oh my God, that's all meme coin. It exists for the sake of having fun. Whatever money that you put in there, it's honestly, for me, is gambling because they don't have no foundation. They don't have any, system to leverage on. Like Bitcoin, they have their own ecosystem, they have their own system, but those coins, other coins, oh my God, it's a meme coin, it's gambling. Right, just be careful.
All right, thank you. And since we were on the topic of social media advice, Mr. Faris, I feel like you speak about this a lot on your TikTok. As an anonymous asked in the chat, he said, some say for students, we can start to use credit card, pay on time to start build our credit score before graduation. What's your opinion on this?
Before graduation? Okay, number one, if you want to afford a credit card, by Bank Negara's regulation, by our central bank regulation, you need to earn at least 2,000 ringgit worth of income. It means that monthly you are earning 2,000 ringgit and then you are above 21 years old. Okay, if you're a student, but you have that income of 2,000 ringgit, it's fine for you to apply and take up credit card, no problem. But if you're a student and then you don't have any income, then you expect to build your credit score by credit card, it's not possible. All right, it's not possible at all. Right. So I would assume this question is you already have an income, you wanted to build your credit score. Yeah, you can take up a credit card if you have an income and you wanted to build your credit score before you graduate. It's fine. But again, credit card, it can be very, very, very harmful to you if you use it wrongly. Okay, it can be very good only if you have discipline, right? If you have discipline, it will do wonders for you if you have discipline, right? However, discipline is something that you have to decide by yourself. I cannot say that you have discipline. For my case, I use credit card for almost everything. I'm not lying to you. It's for the sake of the cashback. I get the cashback. It gives me discounts for all my purchases and it gives me insurance as well. So it's fine. But the discipline that you need to have is once you receive your credit card, once you use it, you treat it like a debit card. It means that you swipe, you pay off directly. You swipe, you pay off directly. You don't just swipe, leave it for 1 month, you get hit by interest. That is not a good discipline. If you have that attitude, honestly, don't take up credit card. It will hurt you so bad. And how do you know your own self-discipline? Just observe your own self, see your own self whether you have that discipline. If you are the type that always spend on Shopee, for example, spend here, spend there, cannot even save your money, then it's just a signal that you are not ready for credit card. It's a signal that you don't have a discipline. Don't go for it. Simple as that. Okay?
I would call that as emotional spending. You spend emotionally, and there are ways for you to overcome this emotional spending. It's going to take another whole lot of a session on that, just on emotional spending and how to get rid of that emotional spending, honestly.
Quite an interesting session for emotional spending.
All right, we'll just take one last question from the floor. Someone asked, what are other passive income which suggest rather than investment, since investment is a bit risky? For you, like, what would you suggest for passive incomes?
Passive income. Okay, when you say passive income, it means you already have a core income, right? Passive income, it can be anything under the moon and the stars and the sun that when you do, you have the fun of doing it, it benefits others, and it gives you income. You can even turn your hobby into a passive income. Explore, the neurons in your mind works wonders when you think.
Correct.
It's not me telling you you should do this, you should do that. You can come up with wonderful ideas and earn passive income out of it. Just focus on this, something that you are happy doing it, because happiness lasts. It drives you towards it every day. Happiness doing it, it's beneficial not just for you and for it's also beneficial for everyone, and also it gives you income. Explore, try and think, right? Interesting.
Yeah, right. I got another view on passive income as well, right? So passive income, I don't believe in passive income in the general definition of passive income. I don't believe in it. The reason why is because a lot of the youth understanding, anak-anak muda punya understanding, the youth understanding about passive income is that I don't have to do work and the money is coming in. That's not the mindset. Yeah, that's not the mindset, because there's a lot of youth come to me, bro, Fairuz, how can I earn income without doing anything? Oh my God, you can't. There's no such thing. Whatever been promoted on social media, this is passive income, passive income. There's a lot of they have done a lot of work in order for them to get that income automatically coming in. The initial stage of work is huge. So it's not simply as one click of a button, I'm just going to get passive income all the way. Let me share with you some of my passive income, right? So I'm working full-time in a bank, and that is my main income, right? However, I do have a side income that I gain automatically, right? For example, I do a lot of affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing that I did is that promoting investment platform out there, whereby people use my referral code, use my referral, my name, and I would get certain rewards. Right. For example, I promote certain robo advisory platform or maybe cryptocurrency platform. I would get certain rewards from it, from just people using my name. They register under my name, they download the app, they invest, and I earn a little bit income. I don't earn, every time you invest your money, I just earn one-time commission. Right. So that's something really, really nice, but there's a work that you need to do in order to earn that affiliate income. For my case, I created my own TikTok channel. I push out content to people. I tell people, how can you start investing? What kind of platform? So when people saw my video, they started using my referral code. So the work is huge. I have to do like content almost every night, almost every week. So then it channels to my side income. Even until now, I'm still receiving my my side income, right? So that's what can happen. But again, there are no such thing as passive income. You have to do the work. All right, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be affiliate marketing, it could be drop shipping. Okay, it could be anything at all. Just like Ms. Nazreen mentioned, it could be you wanted to, maybe you wanted to write a book and you wanted to sell off your book. But in order for you to get that passive income from that book, you have to put in the work. You have to promote your book. You have to ask people to read. You have to ask people to buy. So also all of that is part of the work. So that's just, again, my point of view, because it's too many questions I've been getting about passive income. People kept wanting to get money for free. So there's no free lunch in this world. There are no free lunch. There's not gonna be any money if you want it that is going, other people are gonna give you for free without any work. All right?
Like to add anything? You're muted.
I think we can't hear you, Arman. Your voice is quite soft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Nazreen, can you hear me? I think she's having some technical problems.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Miss Nazreen?
You have to unmute yourself,
Okay.
Ms. Nazreen.
We cannot hear you.
I think she suddenly lost her voice.
Your mic. Your mic, Mrs. Nazreen.
I think it's not her mic. I think she can't hear us. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Due to the time constraint as well, I think that will be our last question for the Q&A session. Maybe take off the earphones. You want to try that, Miss Nazreen?
Yeah, I think it's a setting issue. Usually Microsoft Teams have this issue. There is just the reason why I cannot enter early just now.
It's very. So do I move on then? It's very unfortunate.
I think maybe we can just type in for her. Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank both our panelists, Ms. Nazreen and Mr. Fairuz, for coming in here and discussing the topics today. And thank you so much for answering all the inquiries. And to all the participants, please stay tuned as we will continue with our next forum later. Our next forum is titled A Start to a Better Future. That is forum session number 2. That's all from me. Thank you so much for having me. I'll pass back the floor to my MC, Mr. Mio. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arman and panels, for that great session. Let's give them a pause, shall we? Really nice. Okay. Now let's ease off some steam with an activity on Kahoot. I would like to ask all attendees to go onto Kahoot and key in the code provided on the screen. Have progress. Yes, we can start now. Okay, get ready, everyone. For the first question, what is financial planning? All right, so that's quite numbers for the correct answer. So we're moving on to the next. So, okay, next question. What is credit score? Congratulations for the 41% that answered correctly. Moving on to the next. Wow, Mira is on the top on the table with Mus, Shafiq, Shazwan, and Fatin. Moving on to the third question. What is credit score used for? Three, two, one. Congratulations, 43% answered correctly. So next, let's see the table. Top 5 is quite changing right now. So moving on to the fourth questions. What is the budgeting ratio? Is it red? Is it yellow? Is it blue? Or is it green? Choose wisely. Okay, next. So Mira is consistent, still in first place, whereas the below is changing. So next question. So is it true? Is it false? Yes. Is it false? Wow. It's changing again for the table. Next question. Financial planning should prioritize what? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Depending on what your aims or goals are. Okay, congratulations to 39%. It's changing again, the scoreboard. Congratulations to Mira, still consistent on the first place. I think somebody need to pass her. So financial planning is all about retirement planning. Is it true or is it false? False. It's not. It's not all about. Mati is on the third place right now, whereas Mira and Sean is consistent in first and second place. Next. What are the components of youth literacy, youth financial literacy? Sorry. Is it red? Is it yellow? Is it blue or is it green? Choose wisely. Not to forget, the winners will have prizes. Financial planning, wealth management, and protection and investment. Congratulations to 33% answer correctly. Next. Let's see the scoreboard. Ahmad in the third place right now, whereas Mira and Sean still consistent. So second last questions. What are the core competencies of financial literacy? Come on, guys. It's a yellow. Earning, saving, and investing, spending, borrowing, and protecting. Congratulations to 12%. Let's see the scoreboard. Yes, Ahmad is on the top of the table right now, whereas Mira is down to the second. Next. True or false? Youth should be rich begin their financial planning. You guys should answer it correctly this time. Poor 6 people. Okay, congratulations to 43% answer correctly. So now let's see the podium. Number 3 is Sean. Congratulations. Second place, Mira. First place is Ahmad. Congratulations. So thank you so much for participating in our short activity. And for our 3 lucky winners, please screenshot the picture and send it to our members, Damia or Hazim, as a proof that you have won the Kahoot session. Their contact number will be in the chat box. I really appreciate that all of you joined this session. Now, before we begin with our next forum session, we will be having a 5-minute break. You can grab some snack or a drink. So see you in a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. We really hope the break gave you a refreshing start for the next forum. Now, before I really begin, let me introduce myself. I am Sophia Shahril, a third-year chemical engineering student studying in University Technology Petronas. Today, I am invited to moderate this next session. I guess that is the sufficient information you have to know about me just to understand my role here. So, we will now proceed with our second financial planning forum session titled by A Start to a Better Future. So for this session, we are trying to understand the do's and don'ts in financial planning to help us make better financial decisions. Today, we are joined with two of our respected panelists, Mr. Abdul Mustaqim and Mr. Faris Hanafi. Now, if you all may, give them a virtual round of applause. Okay, thank you. Okay, may I check? Are both speakers here with us now?
Testing suara.
Okay, yes, I can hear you, Mr. Faris. Okay, I can see Mr. Qy'yum already with us. As requested actually by Mr. Qy'yum, he likes this floor to be a little bit informal. So I'm gonna cut out all formalities, and since I mentioned you, let's ask Mr. Qy'yum the first question. Okay, Mr. Qy'yum.
Wow.
In the first forum session, we have talked about passive income, we've talked about cryptocurrency, we've talked about credit card, and basically it builds the, I would say, basic understanding of the term financial planning. So let's now understand, why do you think youths, what are the common mistakes youths tend to make in planning their finance? So the floor is yours.
All right, first of all, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone, and thank you to our moderator, Sophia, and my partner for today's forum, Mr. Faris, Hanafi. So I don't know why I can't see my face in the big screen. I'm like the small part. Is it basically like that? I'm not used to Microsoft. Is it basically like that?
One question. Did you download MST on your desktop, or is it on website?
I think I'm website, I guess.
That is one.
All right, it's okay. Everyone can see me, right? Okay. All right. So to answer that question, my name is Abdul. I think you guys have gotten the summary a bit about me. A young entrepreneur, being a businessman since after finish high school until today. That is about 7 to 8 years of experience in handling businesses. So usually the youth, back then I make a lot of mistake as well in financial planning. So you see, we all have a desire as a youth, as the generation is, improving time to time, where the world is more open. Basically the world is at your hand. Where you can access everything and you can see there's a lot of things interesting outside there. So basically, when we are the youth, we want to upgrade our life, we want to upgrade our lifestyle, we want to upgrade our income, and many things more. But the common mistake is that we do not do some saving towards emergency cases or towards something that a better future that we want to build, such as like myself back then, I started a business by selling perfume. The perfumes where we sell at the mosque for Friday prayers. I sell one box at 10 ringgit, and that moment I was making like a week 1,500, 2,000. I was so happy, and the mistakes that I did was spending the money without understanding that, look, we can make more money out of money. The goal here is that the youth must understand that money can make money, such as our first forum. I think Mr. Faris pun would educate some or sharing some that how money can make money. likewise to a business person as well. Like I'm running my business, where we actually, when we do some financial planning in a proper way, that's how you can create more financial flow, in creating better opportunities, in penetrating better markets. So the common mistake is that we spend without planning, and we spend our money according to our lust and unnecessary things, such as buying, buying some shoes, buying watch, or shoppings. Mostly it's like shoppings, or buy car when you already have a car, things like that. So spend wisely is the most critical part in youth. And the common mistake for the youth, I think one main point that we all have to agree is that we love to buy things, we love new things, we are so excited to have what other people have. So that's therefore, you would buy it no matter what, without thinking about having your savings or a financial planning towards your future. Yep.
Okay, so I understand now. So you're trying to highlight that the most common mistake is that we don't see our the future in our when we try to do financial planning, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of us is living through the present. You see, you can't see the future, but the best thing that we can do is plan our future.
That's definitely, I agree with you on that. Well, I'm actually very intrigued by when you said as early as high school you started selling things. So basically, as early as high school, you have that business mind, which many don't have. And now at the age of 25, you're a successful businessman. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that question was actually meant to be asked for both speakers. So can we have Mr. Faris to answer to give his opinion on that?
Thank you very much, Miss Sophia, our young Miss Sophia. All right. Do you all have heard about my voice? Is it okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much, UTP for the invitation for me. Basically, I just can I spare about 1 minute about my introduction, self-introduction.
Go ahead.
Right. So basically, I'm Faris Hanafi. Not too famous like Abdul Qy'yum lah. not like famous like Abdul Qy'yum. Okay, I'm just a normal guy. All right. So basically, I'm graduate from UK, from Cardiff University, and after I finish my study, I come back to Malaysia, serve for the country, and I serve as a consultant, financial advisor. And what I can see that I help people to retire good and very in the future lah. All right. Yeah. So to put it simple, for me as a youngsters, we need to have high income skill. Not all the people, the youngsters lah, after they finish their studies in university, they lack of high income skills like communication skills and also how to manage their finance. When we during our studies, we can say that in university and also in our sekolah menengah, we don't expose with this kind of finance management, right? Because once we step into outside from the school, then we know how to deal with the money. Because during the school, no one talk about money. They just talk about how to use the credit card, maybe just to excel the mathematics score. Everyone can excel that. But how many people outside there, youngsters, that fall into bankruptcy because of lack of knowledge, because lack of financial management. About 40% of belia, about 25 to 40 years old, they fall into bankruptcy. Because of what? Because they too much follow the trend. Such as the social media, like TikToks and like the Instagram. The influencer, the influencer like the TikTokers like that, they may suggest like apply the credit card, do investment in crypto, do investment in etc. 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 But in order for us to follow the trend, we need to have the knowledge. So in order for you guys to obtain such a good investment, such a good financial management, we need to learn from at the first place. That's why for me, as a youngsters, do learn and attend the webinar like today. And of course, I can assure that all of you guys will be excel in financial management. So I can highlight myself is 2 skills that you need to know: the high income skills, the communication skill, and also how to manage your finance. All right, thank you. I pass back to Sophia.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Faris. We understand that. I mean, it's not really the educational system in Malaysia that we can blame. So since it's not there, like the skills is not put into us as early as high school, I guess it's it depends on our efforts to learn. So basically, the mistake here is we're not learning enough. We're just like following trends.
Yeah,
that's so sad. Okay, so you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would like to add something from Mr. Faris. I myself made a lot of mistake. I don't have the high education like all of you in this forum, which is I'm really proud of you guys. And knowing Encik Faris from Cardiff, from UK, it's one of my dream to study abroad, but I didn't manage to do that. Maybe in the future, planning to go to Harvard for a professional certificate. I'm planning to under CEO program. So but like the most of the youth outside that doesn't involve in this type of forum, they simply don't know what to do. I want to tekankan, I want to highlight the knowledge part, where we at school, I was a naughty boy at school. So at school we just want friends, number one. Number two, we gotta pass the exam, man. You can't if you can't pass, you make your parents mad, and then you're just going to be disappointed and so on. But after a while, when we go through university life and we start to have the adult life, and starting to realize that knowledge in managing your life, managing your financial, and understanding the knowledge of creating a good financial planning, like how Mr. Faris told us just now, is very, very important. So to ladies and gentlemen out there, knowledge is really important. And for you guys to be here to listen to, I know we are not the best financial planner in the world, Mr. Faris.
Yeah.
I might not be the best.
Oh no.
I can continue now. We are just typical men.
Yeah, I thought that was my connection.
I see. Because it's okay. Maybe like the Qy'yum, is it okay there?
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Are you okay
the
there?
Microsoft. I'm okay. Can you guys hear me?
Maybe you can turn off your video to make sure that your line is okay. Just turn off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys?
But your video is double.
Double, eh? Sorry, man. It's okay.
It's okay, man. It's okay, man.
Yeah.
So what I want to highlight, I apologize that I definitely don't want it to be formal here. I love to engage with everyone in a comfortable way, where you can go out from this forum later that you bring something valuable, in youth style.
Yeah,
So,
it's what we will get as well. So go ahead. For you.
So my main point just now, just to cut short things, adalah that what Mr. Faris said is about knowledge is very important in anything that you do, business, financial, working, knowledge.
Okay, I guess we're kind of in the right track to learn about student finance. Yeah. So congratulations to all 100 plus participants here trying to learn something new. Okay, we've given the floor to Mr. Qy'yum. Now I want to ask Mr. Faris. youths nowadays, they dream to live lavishly. At least if not now, in the future, we always have that imagination that, oh, we're gonna be rich one day, but not doing anything today. So how do you think youth can actually make this dream come true?
Yeah. First come first, we need to realize to accept that nowadays everything is not cheap. Everything is not cheap. Even if you want to a date with a girl, at least you need to treat her a Starbucks. Starbucks costs about $13. It's not cheap.
Any experiences there?
It's not cheap. At least if not Starbucks, at least the ice cream Yao Yao, maybe like that lah. So at least the what you call that, our girl is fine lah, enough. So first come first, we need to accept the fact that everything is not cheap. Okay, during our parents' life, okay, about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, back then during the less inflation, that time if you have 100 notes in your hand, you can buy a lot of things, right? So if you go to the mall and you go to the Tesco or something like that, about 20 years ago, 100 notes you can full the trolley. 100 notes, full the trolley. I still remember during my young age. I'm not too old. I just among your age lah. Not too old. During my young age, basically at that time I live in KL. I went to K4. K4, K4. I'm not sure that you can still know about K4. K4 is
it in Malaysia? Because as I remember,
Kafu or K4, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kafu or K4 lah. Because when I travel to Spain, the Carrefour and K4 still available. The mall is still available, but not in Malaysia. But in Europe, still the Carrefour, the K4 is still there. All right. So during back then, my parents bought shopping. 100 notes can full the trolley. You can buy all things. That's why when our parents, they can say that it's very cheap for us to marry early, because during that time everything is still cheap. The houses about 100K. You can get a terrace, you can get a condo 100K. But nowadays to get a terrace in Kajang, in Bangi, about 500,000, guys. About 500,000, guys.
And and that's Kajang, right?
So I need to make sure that you realize that, accept the fact nowadays everything is not cheap. So in order for you to make sure that you can align yourself with the inflation, you need to upgrade your knowledge. That's why you need to upgrade your knowledge. Don't let your knowledge the same like 20 years ago. No, because the life is still going on. So that's why we need to upgrade our knowledge to align with the inflation, to align with the current trending. But I can ensure that. But nowadays, when let's say like the engineer, when you step outside the university, at least minimum wage about 1.8K, 2.3, I don't know. So we need to find a solution. We need the youngster nowadays, they need to find a second job to make sure that their life can stand along with their parents during 30 years ago. So for me, I think everything is not cheap nowadays. The youngsters need to be creative lah, because you need to learn how to make money from money, how to generate income, such as doing an affiliate, doing like a driver or a Grab Food Panda. I think you can do all things. At least make sure that you earn the income from halal and barakah way. Okay, I think that's all for me. I think I can pass to you, Sophia.
Okay, Mr. Faris, I mean, for any forum or any talk, I believe that it's about what the audience will receive, I heard you said about affiliate. Would you care to explain in like simple terms what affiliate is?
I think before our webinar, I said, do you see that the video about the FWD Takaful, the affiliate? Yeah, that's one of the affiliate lah. Because affiliate is just like you become a agent without with a zero cost, with a zero capital. You just become a dropship, something like a dropship lah. You don't keep the item, zero cost modal, zero cost capital. So you just need to become a salesman lah. So as for me, I also become an agent during my college. I become like a top up agent. I don't keep the top up number. No, I just become an middleman affiliate. So when my friends come to me, Mr. Faris, can I have top up 30 ringgit? I can just key in number. So I get the commission like 30 ringgit, something like that lah. So that's for me lah. So affiliate is very good for you as it is zero cost capital.
Okay. So one of your key takeaways just now was that being creative, and we can definitely see when you were in college, you're very creative, just as much as Mr. Qy'yum was in business. So guys, making money, you gotta learn, be creative, do some drop shipping, just try to find ways in making the money that you dream, because we're talking about the dreams that we want to make to come true. So let's look on Mr. Qy'yum's, since you have a business background, I want to ask you a question. When do you think is the best time to start a business? Do you think that we need to have a lot of savings, then we can start a business? Or what are your opinions on that?
All right. Okay, guys. I've been kicked out again just now, so I don't know what's wrong with my Microsoft. Really not used to it. I'm so sorry for that technical problem. Okay, now, just to add point with Mr. Faris. Recently, I've met with the Ministry of KPKT, handling the houses and everything, So I simply just have a conversation with him and we talk about at what salary income that for the youth to have a very good life,
Interesting question.
Yeah, at what is the current situation of economy of Malaysia, our country? What is the income? What is the amount of income that can say that you will have a very good life? I mean, a comfortable life where you can have houses, extra savings, cars, and build families. 15,000 a month.
15,000 a month.
15,000. Living in KL. I mean, living in KL.
Living in KL.
How to in dia macam like the T20, the M40, B40, we go through. I mean, I go through Zoom in with the minister saying that, okay, how can I help the youth and so on. I make a lot of collaboration with the UiTM, and I told the who's the leader, how somehow the chairman of the UiTM is somehow like that. So I talked to them and say, like, how can I help the youth in building their financial. So actually, to build a business, you don't have to have a saving a lot. Everything can start with zero cost marketing, zero cost model. Like how Mr. Faris said, affiliate is one of it, but affiliate is not one of my main thing. What I do is by demand and supply. Something simple as that, demand and supply, because the demand in the market share of Malaysia, there's a lot. Actually, there's a lot of product and founders outside there waiting for the youth to join them and to build some income. And then from there, you can get the idea of what type of business would you want to do. Because I have a lot of business person. I assume that all of you, when driving on the highway, you see all the billboards, right? 90%, the people, the owner of that product at the billboards are all my friend, and they are connected to me. So we know how they build their business. Everyone starts from zero, including myself, including our company. I have 5 companies, brothers and sisters, where how we innovate the businesses from zero to hero. I want to share with you how I started a business called cooking oil, my cooking oil, minyak masak muri in Malaysia. You know, the dream, I had this one evening with my mother. I was just sitting back and stayed, you know, and our business is kind of stuck due to COVID and so on. So I was just laying back and just taking one bottle, you know, just take one bottle and was like drawing, you know, and then it was like, can I get this as a product, even though there's a competitor outside there like Sri Muni, Saji, and so on. So building a business, brother and sister, is not 1 week you become rich, 1 week you make a lot of income. It takes process, it takes knowledge, it takes guidance, it takes creativity. You know, to build the Muri from zero a month, and today from that brand or product itself, I am making at least 500,000 a month, you know, from zero. So it's within 1 year, 1 year plus, you know. So and the good news that I would like to share to all of you is that Saji, FGV Felda is wanting to collaborating with our brand in expanding the market to international. And there's a Singaporean company would like to invest in our company in building the brand. So it takes only an idea, a crazy idea. Another crazy idea I want to share to you is that building a business, you need guidance, you need knowledge. You know, age doesn't matter at all. I know a lot of people started their businesses at the age of 40, yet still successful at the end of the day within 5 years time to 10 years time. Look at KFC. KFC become KFC today at the age of 60 plus, you know.
Yeah.
He managed to make KFC as KFC today is at the age of 60 plus. So I believe one thing, brothers and sisters, everyone, that everyone have their timeline. You know, everyone have their timeline, everyone have their passion, everyone have their dream, you know. Building a business, you can start with people's product, you know, become affiliate, become drop shippers, become agent, become a stockist, and understand the system flow of a business, you know. As we live in the current technology world, you know, I'm sorry if I can't stop talking, but I would like to flow it out. Okay. As we live in the current technology world, system in selling system menjual dalam bahasa Melayu is very important. The system, how they sell it, how they market it, how do you build the brand, how do you build your personal brand. So that is how a business can grow from zero to a hero. You know, I've built 4 companies after my father passed away. We were just a traditional business, a manufacturing business. But after my father passed away, I tried to build a business where it's innovative, creativity and technology. So we have Gaia Green Technology. Gaia Green Tech is doing all the biotechnology for the polymer industry. You imagine my first attempt in creating that biotech, I tak ada lab. I don't have any lab. Like I'm pretty sure UTP Chemical have all the, you know, cool labs where you cook and do things. I do at my kitchen. Brothers and sisters, I did at my kitchen, putting the material and cook, like cooking Maggie.
Oh my god.
And I was thinking like, what the hell I'm doing?
Nasib baik jangan sebu.
So what I did was, I can't do it alone. I need smart people. So where do I come from? You know, I don't have any education background. So what do? I seek for guidance. I seek for knowledge with professors, with doctors from entire university. UTP student je tak, UTP punya lecturer dengan doctor je. I haven't grabbed yet. You know, if you guys would like to collaborate with me, why not? So, but from zero, now, my brothers and sisters, within 2 years, with knowledge, with guidance, with persistence, we create a first brand product, and Europe company is pitching us to purchase that bio resin. You know, from where we cook at kitchen, now European wants to buy our resin and to expand it to Europe market. So,
Imagine.
so that is how we all can do a business, but where is your passion? You know, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years is very important. What do you feel the world needs, the market needs, and the most important thing is that, again, back to basic, is where you need guidance. A right circle of friend is very important. Mr. Faris, agree with me. Circle of
Yes.
friend is very important in building who we are today. So choose your friend right. You know, so that is how we can build. And simplest to my brothers and sisters yang still, you know, you guys are still studying to finish your degree or masters or diploma. The best thing is that you go and see all the founders outside there and try to sell their product instead of you without knowledge, without guidance, and you build your own business. And at the end of the day, you become bankrupt. Back to the statistic of Mr. Faris shared just now. Most of the bankruptcy goes between 25 to 40 years old in Malaysia due to without financial planning, without a proper knowledge in building what they want, and without a proper guidance. Yep. Thank you. Forgive me to taking time so long.
It's okay. It's okay. It's about what we receive. So from you, we heard that to answer the question, to recap, it's never too late or too early to start a business. Am I right? Like even Kev's as late as 60 years old. So if you guys are like trying to motivate yourself, if you're too young now, it's never too late. It's never too late. Like look at Mr. Faris and Mr. Qy'yum, right? And then yes, like they mentioned, like Mr. Qy'yum mentioned, you don't require a large amount of money. Just that you're willing to learn and your passion that drives it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just recapping, So I like when you said your circle of friends are one of the biggest factor that drives you. There's this famous, if you guys don't know, there's this famous saying that says, "Show me your friends, and I will show you your future." Have you guys heard of that? Have at least Mr. Faris, Mr. Qy'yum, have you heard of that?
Yeah. I have a very nice quote. Okay. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth.
I heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, because to become a great businessman, you need to surround yourself with the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Two things to become a great businessman. One, find a good coach or mentor. Second, surround yourself with positive people. Two things enough to become a great people, to become a great successful people. Because nowadays, if you can see, like I can say that in Malaysia we have like most of the population as a businessman coming from like Chinese, like Chinese. I really proud with them because they really prioritize their network. Like if one family they do a business, the other one will support each other. In order for us to become a great businessman, we need to support each other.
Yeah.
Don't be like dendam lah, macam people like our friend become like affiliate. We need so like kita pun dengki kan, lalas kita fitnah dia tak. It's not good for you. It's not good for you.
It's contradicting actually.
Yes. Like I can see that nowadays youngsters is very good at in business, in branding yourself. I know, but sometimes in order for us to become a further success man, we need to support each other. That way we can become a great and successful man. You can see that the other, like when I go to in Europe, I can see that in Europe and in UK especially, there is that in UK before like 20 years ago, to search for to search a halal food is very difficult. Search a halal food is very difficult. But when immigrants come to UK, like we call it the Pakistan come to UK, they live in Manchester. Okay, welcome Ronaldo. Okay, the Manchester. The Manchester. So when the Pakistanians become big family. They support each other. So nowadays, to find a halal food is very easy in UK because of the supporting each other. Same goes to Malaysia. If we support each other, like the Malay, like the Malay, typical Malay lah. Because typical Malay, like if one people make a business, the other one will say hey, the other one will
Yes.
to put a saka. I don't know why.
Yeah, what is wrong?
I don't know what happened to Malay, but the other bangsa, I don't know. They don't have that thing. They just biasa lah. But I don't know Malay. I don't know, but there's still a group of people in Malay that very good at business. I know, but for me, the key highlight is to become a great man. We need to support each other. Support each other. If your friend have a business, go support. If your family support have a business also, go support. If Abdul Qy'yum also have a minyak masak, go support him. Go support him. Buy.
Promoting, guys.
Buy the product. What you call that? Apa Bumi Putra kan? Beli produk Malaysia. Go.
Yeah.
So that way we can maximize our capital, and that's way we can become a great nation in Malaysia.
10% for you, Mr. Faris, if the sales come from UTP.
Okay.
Direct.
That's really, yeah, it's a key takeaway actually. Just support, you know, because we have our friends as well. I mean, it's impossible you don't have friends who have actually business, and you know they're striving to build up their business. All you need to do is just, you know, post a picture about their product. You know, in the end, we're gonna build. I mean, we're friends, right? We're friends.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends who have businesses. I mean, besides my network of business, the real business, I meant like same age business. I mean, same age friends that trying to do business, selling cakes, selling clothes, selling perfumes, there's a lot of things, you know, there's a lot of things that they want to do. I think actually they are brave. You know, I'm pretty sure in this almost 120 students joining today, I'm pretty sure you have your own business as well. But I think the lack of the youth is that they are too ego in getting guidance and help from people, you know, especially and when they have to lower down their ego and understand that, you know, we are very young, we need to learn a lot, you know, from the experienced people. So that is I think that's the basic thing, how the youth that potentially have good businesses, but you can't grow, is because you are too ego in learning or to have guidance. And there's a lot of support system from the government and the support system from the outsider, you know, privatized people such as Dr. Azizan Osman, ada Sifu Bat, you know, Ibu Hanim, and there's a lot of good coaches outside there where you just have to learn and get guidance and build back where you started. Yep. Sophia, you have to unmute. Yeah, okay. I think you're too excited.
No. Okay. Yeah, I understand. I don't know lah. Sometimes it's not that we don't want. Maybe we just don't know who to consult. You know.
Agree.
Agree. Don't have access to. And some of them you gotta pay. So maybe they're not willing. They're not willing to pay a mentor for their startup business. I'm not sure.
That is why what you guys are doing today is a great thing. It's free. You know, it's free, and you're calling people to do some sharings from a well-experienced people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, since you say that, I think we have a lot more to cover. Not just, you know, soccer or, you know, support. Move. We have to move. Okay. Let me point out something that we could benefit. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Faris, is there a golden rule in financial planning, like the 70-20-10 rule, if I may point out, can you explain that rule or any other rules?
Right. Thank you for the next question.
Okay.
In order for us to budget ourselves, we need to have a guideline. Okay, guideline lah. So the 70, 20, 10, the 50, 30, 20, yada 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 yada. So the budget is just a guideline. It's just a guideline. So in order for because you need to see yourself lah. The 70, 20, 10 is 70 is for the commitment, 20 is for your lifestyle, 10 is for your saving. But is it fair for me to say that you are a fresh grad? 70% go to your commitment. What is your commitment? What is your commitment? unless you have a family, unless you have a loans, unless you have a home loans, SB financing, you have credit cards, then you can use the 70, 20, 10 rule. But as a fresh grad, at least for me after fresh grad, they need to focus on the saving first. So we need to what you call that, to customize the budget, to customize based on our needs. Okay, as a fresh grad, you need to focus on your saving. For me, like what I usually do for my clients is focus on saving about 40%. During this is for the single man, for a single and less commitment guy lah. Don't have a car loan, don't have a home loan. 40% for the saving, 40% saving, about 30% for the commitment, and also the other half for your lifestyle. Okay, so for me, the golden rule, the 50, 30, 20 is just a guideline. But ourselves, the youngsters, need to customize the budget style based on your needs. One thing I want to share is one friend one of my friend. Before he went to UK during his second year, he made a saving like ASB financing something like that, using his allowance. Okay, using his allowance. So monthly deduction he will deduct to his account at Malaysia, and the other half he just use the money for living in UK lah. After he finished his study and come back to Malaysia, and also he have a decent job. When he tried to apply the home loan, just taking about 1 to 2 weeks, the home loan just approved because he have a good credit score. Because he have ASB financing such as like that lah. That one thing, that one scenario is for my friend. They are very good in financial management, but I cannot. It's very unfair for me to put like sama rata for you to follow this guideline. Okay, you must need to follow this one. You must need to follow. There is no simple rule. Just you need to understand yourself. You need to understand your commitment. You need to understand your family. You need to understand yourself. Because all the things, the social media that embedded around us, they put a pressure to the youngsters. They put a pressure. That's why there's a lot of youngsters out there. It's very pressure about themselves. Because when they don't have a job, they think that I'm a failed person. When they think that I don't have a 10K saving, I think I am a failed person. No, you cannot say that. Because everyone, like Mr. Qy'yum said that, everyone has their own timeline. For me, I have my own timeline. Mr. Qy'yum also have his timeline. Miss Sophia also has her timeline also. So first thing to make sure that to customize your budget is by make sure that you know yourself. Okay, you know yourself, you know your commitment. Get a job first. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Faris. I hope you guys are taking note because I sure received a lot of things and we're only like, what, almost 45 minutes. Okay, so you said about just because we're not having 10K saving doesn't mean that we're unsuccessful. So while we're in the topic of saving, can we have from both speakers your opinion on like what are the necessary things you need to do to make savings? So Mr. Qy'yum?
All right. Okay. myself, even myself back then, I'm not really good at saving, you know, because when we want to work, when we want to build business, we want to earn a lot of money to have a very good life, to buy things that we want, to get things what we like, and to give things to our family what they deserve to get. But until a point where the commitments start to be very to raise up, and at the critical moment where you want to buy houses, where you want to build families, when you want to get married, you know, that's where how you have to do a planning on your savings. So I have this. I'm not really technical. I'm not going to explain that technical about savings. I think Mr. Faris would be very good in technical in savings because his background is there. But I'm just sharing what I feel as a normal human being that doesn't know anything much, but what did I do to have much of saving. So what I did was I made a book like buku 55. I think everyone knows like the notes, right? But I did it, yeah, saving books, you know. But I used the apps. There's this one apps before. It's something like the current system that Maybank do, MAE, right? I'm pretty sure you guys, yeah.
Yes.
So but back then there's no MAE. I had to use this one piggy bank apps on my phone, where whatever money in the inflow, I know what is the inflow, and whatever outflow, I literally write down what is the outflow that I did. And from there, let's say a monthly, I got 1,000. You know, I start my salary with 1,005. Within 5 months or 6 months, I have extra of another 1,005. I knew that saving is not a lot, but to me, that's an extra 1,005 you did there. You know, because living current life, we all know, to all of you, that salary of 1,005 is not enough, you know, to live the current life. The toll itself, the expensive, the fuel, the food, you know, the things that you want, and having the lifestyle is not enough. So, but how you manage your saving is by making sure that you know what you're spending, and making sure you know how to make the income, where you get it, where you get your income from. So understanding the inflow and understanding the outflow is very important in making savings, and then therefore from there you can make planning. um I'm pretty sure you guys face the same thing as me before, because at one point when you are making when you're at the peak of your career, actually saving is very easy. You know, when you're making a lot of money, saving is really easy. But when you are making sufficient money, saving is very critical for us to understand. And for emergency cases, for insurance, you know, I'm pretty sure that the youth really need to highlight on insurance. I'm not selling insurance, guys, but but insurance is very important. So I think I'll pass to Mr. Faris on explaining the technical part on saving in his way, you know, rather than my way. I'm just street smart. I'm a street smart person.
I can see that. Yeah, we can see that.
Mr. Faris.
I agree. I agree, Mr. Qy'yum. If you cannot save during your hard times, how you can expect yourself can save during your easy life?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see during the about last year during the pandemic at the March 18 March during MCO, our first MCO.
Oh yeah.
Most of the company fall into the dark lah, because of lack of cash, lack of saving. Because of that, I can say that cash is king. I remind you back, cash is king. Even most of the asset there, they say that simpanlah emas, save in gold. But the people who have gold that time, they sell their gold to earn the cash. Because cash, by using the cash, you can buy things. You cannot go to the grocery by using the gold. Can I buy coconut shake with using my gold? No. No, you cannot. I don't know lah if you can go to the Tesco, buying the yao yao or ice cream, something like that by using the gold. I don't know lah. I don't know. Okay, but at least be in your mind lah, because cash is king. What about yesterday? Yesterday I scroll I search in YouTube. I search in the Age Market. I read the article about 30%. About 30% SMEs. SME stands for small medium enterprise, right? SME, small medium enterprise. About 30% went into bankrupt during MCO. So when they because what? Because of lack of cash, lack of saving. So when the when the company fall into bankrupt, what happened to employment? Employment will decrease.
Yeah.
Less demand for job. Less demand for job. What happened to the unemployment rate? Unemployment rate will become increased. That's why a lot of people, fresh grad, they are unemployed. Because of the demand and supply. So in order for us to become a great successful businessman, we need to have a cash reserve. That's for company. For our individual, make sure that we have our own cash reserve. I can say that Mr. Qy'yum is very good at cash reserve, right? At least you have a cash reserve in FD, like fixed deposit, at least like $1 million or something like that lah. Okay, just to secure yourself lah.
$1 million too much, I think.
Yeah, at least at least by you keep your money in FD, at least you can have a loan for the bank, right?
Correct.
Easy for you to loan for the bank. Okay.
Yep.
As for individual, it's very important for you to keep your money at a safe place. Not to keep your money, but cryptocurrency. No. Don't put at it. Okay. At least you need to keep your money at a place that can give you low risk but low return, something like that. Such as tabung haji, FD. FD is like for the non-bumi, they can use the FD lah. But for the Bumi Putra, they can use the ASB and also the tabung haji. Tabung haji is very good because when you parking the money in that medium, at least the dividends coming from the tabung haji is not zakat. Because the tabung haji already zakat all our income distribution. But for the ASB, you need to zakat your dividend because of the system like that. So for me, we must make sure that the youngsters keep your money safe. Don't put at a wrong place. Don't put under your pillow. Don't put under your almari. Don't put under that. Because when you put under your pillow, I don't know lah. I don't know if you put under the pillow when you wake up for the next morning, they become big. No, not become big. So at least if you put your money at the ASB or the tabung haji, at least at the end of the year. Okay, at the end of the year, like December. Okay, this December, the ASB will announce the dividend. I hope that 4% above lah, at least lah. So hopefully. The key point is put your saving at the right place, then you can earn a very good return lah. Okay, I hope that really answer your question, Miss Sophia.
Agree.
Yes.
Agree. Cash reserve is very important, gang. That I have this one company, oil and gas company. I had the oil and gas company, oil and gas. I'm pretty sure you guys from UTP tahu oil and gas, Petronas. I have a project with Petronas and so on. So PKP time, Mr. Faris, that company, I had to shut it down for like
shut
a
it
year.
down.
Yeah, I had to shut it down because that company was like a baby but maturing slowly. When big projects start to come, I was having a project with related to oil rig punya situation, and then PKP, so less cash reserve. I had to shut down that company and build back, and it takes a lot of lost effort in building back that company. So cash reserve company is much as important as cash reserve for yourself. Save, like how Mr. Faris mentioned just now, is very, very true. Macam I simpan on my own lah. Macam I cakap, my own way adalah inflow, outflow. I understand. Back then I tak tahu ASB. I don't know ASB. I don't know Maybank can put FD. I don't know. But now Mr. Faris have guided us. So yeah, safe well.
Agreed. We can see like Mr. Qy'yum has his like logical thinking, and then Mr. Faris added on to the technical. So you guys, savings book, savings app, me, and then Tabung Haji, cash reserve. Okay. I would actually love to continue with all the questions we have because it's been really good here, but we have some times that we have to follow. Maybe a next session we can plan another time. Maybe inshallah.
Inshallah.
Maybe inshallah.
So on a final note, both the panelists and I really hope that you guys have gained a lot out here and maybe help you guys make better financial planning. So it's rightful enough to end any discussion with a Q&A session. So now I am opening the floor to the audience. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the chat box. Or if you wish to voice out your question, you can use the raise up hand button in MSD. We will attend to you accordingly. Okay. So while waiting, we do have some questions that from the I would say registration form that we have set up. Hold on. Let me refer back. Okay, so the first question from the form is, what are the main things that I need to consider when I plan my financials? Well, we said a lot, but let's just answer again. Mr. Faris, first, I guess.
Thank you. What the most important for you lah before you plan is what is your goal? You need to make sure that you need to prioritize your goal. Same like maybe like Mr. Qy'yum and also me, we have a different goal. Like for me, maybe I want to become like a successful financial planner. For Mr. Qy'yum, maybe he want to become a CEO, maybe become the first Malay billionaire in Malaysia. I don't know. So inshallah, okay. So in order for you to make a financial planning, you need to know your goals first, okay. Because different person have their different goal. Like for me, maybe it's very unfair for me to say that, okay, I want to save a lot because I want to buy a house. But maybe the other person, they want to save a lot because they want to build a business. Maybe the other person want to save because he want to marry early. So different people have their different needs. So in order for us to customize our own budget is depend on your ultimate goal. So that's I hope I can answer your question. So you need to focus on your ultimate goal, then you can construct your financial planning based on your needs.
So that is the main thing. What about Mr. Qy'yum?
I have to agree, because to answer detail, everyone have their own perspective in how to build your own financial planning. So I saw you guys play the quiz cooks. I forgot. Kahoot.
Yeah.
And one of the question was similar like this. Yeah, thank you, Alicia, for helping Kahoot. So anyhow, Kahoot just now asking the same question, and the right answer was, it depends on what interests you the most. Because you have your planning and you build your career, you build your future, your journey of how you want to be one day. So it's basically to your own interest of how you want to do your own financial saving and planning.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Qy'yum. I realize that we have a question from the floor. I want to highlight. I know you've answered in the already. Yeah, it's. Can you share who's your personal mentor or coach in business, Mr. Qy'yum?
Okay, let me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. To answer that question, sorry, Sophie, that actually everyone have their own expertise. Yeah. Not to say one coach is enough in building our career, in building our life. Our mother is our coach in making the household rights. Our parents, our parent is our mentor in how we build our own household in the future. Like when you are married and when you have children, you are basically following the trend of how your parents educating you. So you have to choose in a different that you have to understand. Sorry, you have to understand that what is it that you need, and from there you see who is the expert in it. You see, even myself, a businessman, a group CEO of a group companies, some question that I couldn't answer correctly, I'll pass to Mr. Faris, who is actually really expert in answering that type of question. You know, not everything that we are good, but we need good people in supporting us. So understanding who is our mentor, our coach, is what is it exactly that you need, you know, and understanding this mentor or coach can provide you what in return.
Understood.
So that's how if you spend to their class, it's going to be worth it. It's not going to be something like I wasted my time and you're going to bash and then, you know, I wasted money. There's no result.
I hope that answers that person's question very, very well. I'd like one question from she is actually a lecturer, Dr. Haryani in UTP. She said, Mr. Qy'yum or Mr. Faris, for the uni youth, how much a month should they save aside? This is a very interesting question. I guess Mr. Faris first, and then we'll go to Mr. Qy'yum.
Thank you very much for the question, Miss. I think it's very complex to answer that question because different students have their different commitment. Because I think I cannot put a simple rule for all the students to apply. Okay, because there may be a student that have a car loan, or maybe the student that have a motorbike, a car. They need to spend a huge amount on that proportion. Maybe some of the students, maybe they don't have any commitment. Maybe some of the people that they have a very difficult family, they need to support their family. I think there's no ground rule for that. At least simple rule is make sure that you have your savings. Busuk pun at least ada cash reserve. Okay, so don't make yourself like your cash flow is negative, like the cash inflow outflow. So what is cash negative? Cash negative is when your cash outflow is very huge than your cash inflow, meaning that you are creating a loan creating a debt. Maybe you hutang dengan orang lain, that make sure that's what happened for the negative cash flow. For me, as long as the student have a sufficient amount of saving, I think it's good for a starting. Because for me, it's very unfair because different students have different commitment. As long as each of the student, they understand the concept, the fundamental of saving, I think they will become a successful student here and after.
Okay, understood.
I like the answer.
Yeah, Mr. Qy'yum.
All right, for me to answer our beloved lecturer, Puan Haryani. Yeah, it's very good to question this. You see, myself come from, I wasn't born rich. Our family is a poor family, and you know, we started kalau kategori bawa kereta boleh the car can put the image of you. I started like from IV, then had to be like Kancil, and then go to Mercedes, go to GTR, go to Lamborghini, something like that. And same goes to the age of your income for the youth, the uni youth. Everyone have their own commitment, but do understand that just keep aside some portion for the future reference for emergency cases. Like me, I give you an example. Back then I had the salary of 1,005. I put aside 200 ringgit. You know, I calculate like what Mr. Faris said. It's upon your inflow and outflow, your planning, what is your commitment. So as my salary increased, we built the business well. When it increased to 5,000, let's say, or 3,000, I put aside 500 ringgit. Stageously, life life, my brothers and sisters, life is not always a jackpot where you just you fly and you get things that you need. Life is all about process. Life is all about step by step. Reaching a goal in your career, no matter what, business, working with people, it's all about step by step, like how you go through the stairs. So that is how your saving should be too. It doesn't mean that you have income of 1,005, you quickly saying that I need to save and I need to put aside 1,000, but at the end of the day, you are troubling your daily lifestyle.
Yeah.
No,
At the end of the day,
you
you
don't.
have to take back your savings.
Yeah, so that causes not a good process, and it will cause you won't be disciplined because you know that I try to put aside 1,000 when I only gain 2,000. I only have 1,000 to do for 1 month while waiting for another income to come. And then between half a month already, I need to come out 500 ringgit. So it become habit. We don't want that habit. So stageously, brothers and sisters, in do your saving, 200 ringgit, 300 ringgit is the best already. That's a great start.
Okay, that was a very good input from Mr. Faris and Mr. Qy'yum. There are actually more questions from the floor. Maybe while we're doing lucky draw, you guys can answer, at the chat box. But because time constraint, that was the last question. Okay, up to your own diligence, Mr. Qy'yum, Mr. Faris, to answer in the chat box. I want to say thank you to the panelists for a very wonderful session just now. I'd like to pass back the floor to our MC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sophia and the panelists for that informative session. Now, I would like to remind all the participants regarding the video competition. For your information, we have not only organized the forum session, we are also conducting a video competition. So the video competition deadline is on 20th September, and the submission form is available on Inventrix Instagram account at Inventrix_UTP. For further inquiries, you can contact the organizing members, Adib or Alisha. Their contact number will be in the chat box. Right, now we are going to proceed with the lucky draw session. I think most of you must be waiting for this session, right? So get ready for a surprise. There will be 10 lucky winners among the participants. Now let's go to the wheel and see who's the first lucky winner is. Congratulations to our first lucky draw winner, Nurul Izzati Abdullah. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Who's going to be? Congratulations, our second lucky draw winner, Muhammad Omar Farouk. Next, for the third one. Focus, guys, it's going to be you. So who's next? Congratulations to Shahdina Batrisha. Let's move on. Congratulations. Oh, the names is quite okay. Nur Auni Atia Adila. Congratulations to you. Next. Pay attention, everyone. It's going to be you. Exciting prizes await. It's kind of slow at me. Okay. Nur Fazlin, congratulations. Let's move on. I'm sorry I can't mention the name right away because it's a bit slow at me. Congratulations, Farah Adlina. Moving on. Congratulations for the Nets, Lucky Rowena. The names doesn't come out. User. Sorry. I think it's already 7, isn't it? Or 8. But never mind. Let's move on. Abdul Rahman, congratulations. Moving on. Najwa Zawani Damira. Congratulations. So is it a second last or the last one? Let's see. Sorry if I mentioned your name wrongly. So is it already 10? I think it's already 10. All right. Congratulations to all lucky draw winners. Don't forget to contact our organizing members, Dalili or Aisha, to claim the prizes. Their contact number will be in the chat box. Don't forget to claim. All right, finally, we have reached the end of our event. On behalf of my team, EBM Inventrix, I would like to thank the panelists for willing to spend your time in these short and meaningful forums. And to all attendees, thank you for your participation today. I hope this forum have helped you clear out many inquiries regarding the topic of financial planning. As you can see, this is the QR code for the feedback form. This is important for us to improve our event. You may scan the QR code as presented on the screen. We would appreciate it if you can scan the QR code on the screen and follow at Inventrix_UTP Instagram account for more updates. So that's about it. Save more, spend less. That's all for today. We wish you the best and hope to see you again on 25th of September in our next session, which will be covering the topic of investment and wealth management and protection. Again, thank you and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Cik
Thank you. Thank
Fairuz.
you.
Thank you, Cik Qy'yum. Thank you, Cik Faris. Thank you, Miss Nazreen. Thank you and congratulations. See you guys next week. Next 2 weeks.
Next week, yes. Next